4, 3, just kidding. What's up, everyone? I am the High Priestess Phoenix, spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, messenger of God, child of God, evangelist, North American Sybil. I am the Lilith reincarnated on a Saturn day. And the crowd goes wild. What's up, everyone? In order to keep up with me, you would have to catch my morning video, my rant and rave from yesterday, all the shit in my freaking community page, and I threw in some shorts. If you're not full of yourself by then, you know, just keep digging. Just keep digging. Where we're gonna start. Truthfully, sorry, as soon as I sat down, I'm like dying, first off. What's wrong? Those stairs are killing me, bro. And I'd be like, damn. But as I sat there just gasping for air this time, I remembered, you know, Colorado is known for us having that thin-ass air and people can't breathe here in general. And then I smoke like fucking 50 cigarettes back to back and fucking come climbing up fucking 10 flights of stairs and wonder why I can't breathe. And it's like, okay, hold on here. Breathe. There's not enough air to take in is what it is. And that used to be my problem too when I would be hiking and shit. I just had to stop to breathe. Unless I was going up like a super incline and it was burning the shit out of my legs or something. But it was usually just I didn't have no breath. I just needed to breathe. Could be cigarettes, I guess, as we're talking about it. Anyways, so it's Saturn day. We went through a huge dark night of the soul in the last 24 hours. It was like a whole crime scene. And I made a video, obviously, that I told everyone about, but I didn't upload it last night that, you know, triggered some more shit. But it was a perfect video. And I've never really done this before where I just literally remake a video. But it was so important that it needed to be heard. And as much as I'd like to go forward, all I have is just like, you know, let's just revisit this. Because it's just as important today as it was yesterday. And it needs to be said. So you'll hear me, especially I noticed, you know, our full moon on Moon Day. Usually on a Moon Day, what happens is I go through these huge transformations on a Friday. You see me turn into a big-ass werewolf and shit, is what you witnessed. Fuck, my lungs hurt real bad. Hold on. It might not be my lungs. Give me a minute. It could be one of my chakras, bro. It's hard to know, you know what I mean? You gotta kind of, is it the chakra or is it the organ? And so I'm like, let me calm my chakras. Calm your chakras. Okay. I wish you could see what happens, dude. If you had your hand on my chest like I did, you could feel it happen. You could feel me tap into my, you know what I mean, to my heart chakra, and you could feel the green ray flush my body, and I start to breathe completely different, how the whole body just shuts down almost. It's like the littlest breath becomes the biggest breath. Okay. Breathe. So I get really ticked off pretty much every Monday because nobody has fought these unbelievable battles with me on a Friday. But they've watched me do it for so long, and it's like really hideous to watch for all of you new people that just watch this whole, you know, explosion of, you know, chaos, which is that, the dark night of the soul. It's an explosion of chaos. I prepare you throughout the week to tell you what it is. But, you know, I also tell you about all the good shit that comes with it. All the psychic abilities, all of the healing abilities, all of the, you know what I mean, intuition and knowing and communication with the, you know, God and the oneness and the angels and all that good shit. But I very much tell you that that's all good and groovy, but I'm not the one that specializes in that. I'm the one that comes on the weekend, and this is what we really do. And that's what sets me apart from everybody. Nobody does what I do. They're ancient teachings, but nobody's actually ever fucking gone where I go. And I try to teach people to go all the way, and they see me, and they're like, no way. But I'll watch you. And then they get all mad because nobody wants to be brave enough and do some destructive shit like this. What you witnessed was the whole dark night of the soul. Although I thought it was over and I did this explanation, another one came upon us. Now that you've seen it all and it's all over, I'm going to explain it once again. When I started, my awakening, it came with the dark night of the soul. And what happened was, there was one good memory. My heart was hurting just like that. And I did this body map, and then I go in and I get this memory that, oh, you're in love with this guy. So I wake up with this fucked up fairy tale version of, oh, I'm in love and you're in love and I've been asleep and I'm gonna, figure this out and we'll be happily ever after. I know it sounds pathetic, but I mean, I was a child in a freaking, you know what I mean, in a feeling. And obviously that was, I became very real right away. But what happened next was the worst thing. So I'm trying to explore this feeling of love, and I get met with all kinds of shadows. And that's what happens on a Friday for me. A Friday is a Venus day, right? It's by definition, it's the planet of your heart and your love. When I go, when that planet of love comes over me, I am full of all of this, you know what I mean? Darkness, pain, suffering, in the category of love. And so when that day comes over me, I am a whole fucking, a whole werewolf. I turn into my darkest form. But only so that I can burst into flames like the fucking, phoenix I am, and come out anew on a Sunday. I still hurt on a Monday, but by Tuesday it's all over. And I've told everybody about it, but you had to witness it to see it. And it happens every weekend. Like every weekend. Yeah, since the beginning. So in the beginning I got this book, and I swore it was the book that did it, bro. I call this my Bible. I swore it was the book that did it. But the book didn't do it, dude. It was just walking me through it. Word for word, right? Now, I want to read you the intro to this book. Right? This book is more than just an initiation. It is a beacon, a way shower. Few books exist that are honest and as challenging about transcending the dark night of the soul. Within the pages of honesty and integrity ooze forth, Flavia not only conveys with beauty, but with an honesty that bears herself to the world. Reading these pages gives us all hope and light that exists, even in the darkest moments of our journey. It shows us that we all have the ability and a choice to become stronger than we were. You will cry and you will laugh as you read these pages. You will go on a journey, one that might even mirror aspects of your own life in a unique way. You will find parallels in the most unlikely of places, and you will find your own truth, your own voice, and your own strength that has always been within. And that's it. I didn't even read the beginning. We just jumped into it. Everything I got, I was very scared of, because it was outside of my knowing. You know what I mean? I don't know, guys. You'll see me in all these videos. I don't know, but I trust, I believe we'll be okay. So when I tell you not to do that bitch's spells, I know you should not be doing her spells. Do not do these spells. I don't really tell you what not to do. I tell you to explore and blow your head off. God will come clean you up. In the essence, but I tell you when not to touch some shit. Alright, within the sacred Eleusinian mysteries of the feminine divine was a sacred dark goddess initiation so deep, so profound, that only the highest initiates attempted it. To this day, I'm the only of my kind. But again, I am the dark goddess, so naturally I would walk, and that's what I tell you is, there's all these amazing videos of me doing initiations, ancient ritual initiations, being triggered from just a knowing inside. Only afterwards do I realize that I have literally walked the steps of the ancient and replayed these times. And I'm seeing the first one where it was, oh God, I'm still so scared of that mountain. Where they took me to the top of the mountain. They took me to the top of this mountain once. And I sat there and blacked out and had this whole vision. That was my wake-up vision. I came down from that mountain. About 3 days later, I told everyone that I had a vision that was going to save the world. And I was confused because I wasn't Jesus and I didn't understand what that meant. Later, I started to get more awakenings, you know what I mean? And then they took me, I did this huge ritual on the top of, it's called the Stairway to Heaven. It's down in Manitou Springs. And I did a couple of different rituals, but that one specifically was the Divine Feminine Awakening, was what I told everyone I was doing at the top of that mountain. Did I climb all those? Thank God, no. I think they took me up, like I said, I think it was like 1,300 or 1,700, something. It wasn't too high, but it was hella high. Like, whoa. And I did this ritual, and then after that, I ended up on the top of that mountain again. And I got stranded there, the police had to get me, it was all this stuff, but then it aligned with the story of the Buffalo Soldier. You're like, what is that? Go Google it. It really happened to me in a real life form. It really happened to me in all these real life things when I did that ceremony on the top of the mountain in Michigan. No, not Michigan, Minnesota. It was either Minnesota or Wisconsin. I'm pretty sure it was Minnesota, yeah. And I did, on the top of a mountain, I did this big old, sage burn and this whole ceremony up there. That's where I got my wolf spirit, and I sat with, Chief Redwing. And he showed me all the history, you know what I mean, and everything. And then he showed me all these visions, and then next they showed me where to look in Google and stuff to show you guys what, you know what I mean, to align the stories of what I was experiencing, how I was walking through, you know what I mean, timelines and visualizing them in our 3D world. There's lots of crazy stuff like that, and I've done tons of those, and that's why I say I have to go to these places, these ancient places, these earth star chakras. I need to reactivate, you know what I mean, this. So they were hidden, you know what I mean? They're hidden in the earth. Everything is hidden, you know what I mean? These are, you have to have the light. You have to have the energy. You have to have the spark of initiation to, you know what I mean? You carry the light. I shared that, the sacred flame, the eternal flame. You have to carry this light that activates the land. I do too. I do activation. They take me on sacred trails, Route 66 and all these trails, and while I'm doing it the whole time, I'm burning sages and incense. I'm doing music activation. I'm seeing visions. I'm talking to the ancestors. I'm seeing all these unbelievable things from past, present, and future. What was in this land before we put our foot on this land? I'm seeing wars from the ancients, dude. I'm seeing all kinds of shit as I do this stuff. It's been one hell of a journey, bro. Those mysteries were driven underground, but remained hidden in the bones, blood, and souls of the descendants of the High Priestess of the Eleusinian mysteries, until a time came when once more they would emerge and be needed to assist humanity. In our Palladian book, it talks about the sisterhood, which is another sisterhood that serves Christ. It's just a sisterhood that serves Christ. I shared a video earlier about my connection to Mary Magdalene and the whole light, the female form, which would be the Shekinah and all of that. It's like we're all one. The dark was always a light with one. Earlier I shared a short that Lucifer isn't your devil. You called such things, you called the demons devils. But Lucifer was nothing more than, you know what I mean? Just like myself and you, casted out child of God. And which wasn't casted out. Such a crazy story. It's just like hell. It's just like, no, if you don't want to be here, then here you go. He didn't destroy me either, but he didn't allow me to rule over other places. It's kind of a low-key thing. It's like, oh, this seems like a good place where, you're in dire need of leadership. Not by you. This is not your world. And then God keeps putting me on this world. This one. Going back to it. Anyways, let's see. The time is now, blah, blah, blah. Flavia has written this book from her experiences of her journey to meet the Dark Goddess the Dark Goddesses individually, as she traversed the death rebirth process, changing her life forever. Flavia holds your hand as she guides you through with her innate knowledge and experience how to uncover every part of you that has been denied, repressed, or disowned. During bringing balance to light and dark, for the wise witch knows that the shadows come from the light. And that's really it. You have to go in there to find your light. Flavia's authentic guidance to enlightenment will show you the way into the dark, into spiritual awakening of remembering who you truly are by strengthening your own personal belief system and empowering you to reclaim what was lost and forgotten. Let's see. This long-awaited book is powerful, incredible, and life-changing. It is an ancient map that has been lost until now, helping you navigate your voyage back home to yourself, rewriting your soul's destiny to reclaim a new way of living, thinking, and feeling for yourself. A masterpiece of personal, psychological, and deep wisdom, reaching the very depths of your soul's knowing. It is time to embrace the Dark Goddess, reclaim your magic, your birthright, for we are now in the age of transformation and change. Who better than Flavia to lead us through the dark night of the soul with her courage and passion to help make the change and transformation we've been waiting for all along. Alright, which high priest and international author Flavia Kate Peters' latest book, Reclaim Your Dark Goddess, is an ultimate witchy survival kit to activate your inner magic. Through the power of the dark goddesses of all cultures and tradition, it helps you to understand your own shadow and how to embrace your inner dark traits to fully heal ourselves and make whole again. This is certainly going to have a central position in my book collection of powerful and inspiring women's books that show us how to live our lives to the fullest potential. Now, I read this book to men, and they're stalker women. I don't have a fucking female following that I ever really know about that I reached out personally. They only came later as I started working more in my divine feminine. I promise you it's always been men. Men. Thousands. And I never was really put my titties out there. I'm pretty, but I was always real, I'm pretty, and it drew a lot. But I was always, oh God, here she goes again. Do not, please. Just
Wait, it's a joke.
But please, just not in my video. Can you just, this time, keep your comments to yourself? Put them, you know what I mean? I turned the comment section, I turned the comment section off today. Okay? Anyway, so the book is intense. Now, I read it to a bunch of men, and by that, they could reflect back to these men their own dark inner traits, their stories, their levels to it. And as much as I'd like to say we ran through the book, no, it took us a long time. You'd get stuck in it. Later, she came with oracles to go with them. But the oracles actually ended up being pretty much identical to what we had learned, but the new ones the other ones, she expanded them with quite a few more. I mean, she expanded into more aspects of the dark goddess, and you'll see those. That's my Lilith, and that's my Kali that's up there, and all of these. So then I can go in here and say, all right, after reading the book over and over, which we do, you'll see me pull it out, I can also go into these cards and say, all right, where are we? What are our dark traits that we're dealing with right now? You know what I mean? So that's how I use these cards, because I already know the levels and the devils to this shit. I know what the feeling is, and I got a name and a story I could put on it to, you know what I mean? And that's how the Bible works. That's exactly how the Bible works, and that's why I call it my Bible, is because, when you're going through something, a priest is going to come pull something out of that Bible, a story from that Bible to align with your, to give you the courage and inspiration to keep going. Again, it's my Bible. Where are we currently? Oh, fuck off. Trust. This is a crazy story. Here's a crazy story I got to tell. We're just going to read this and I'm going to keep going. Just to show you how it works. Ooh, I went to Gabanach. Which, I just shared an awesome video about, they're called dirt devils, or dust devils. Dirt devils. And it's not a tornado because it's not caused by the actual clouds. It's from the ground up. I just shared a couple of great videos. They're amazing to watch. They just dance. They're beautiful little... And we're going to be entering pretty soon. After this video, I'm going to finish up our Intro to Tarot Part 6. We're going to finish up our Pentacles. And whether or not it says to go into the air element, I know we are. So, we're going to do that next. And I'm going to explain that. The element of air is your intellect, how you think. Alright, we were talking about Pentacles. We were talking about our reality. We're going to be moving into that. But Gabanach just popped up as confirmation. Alright. Hai Nu Tipu. Lies, betrayal, hurt, and pain. Won't believe or hope gain. Release all doubt, for 'tis a must. Seize the truth and learn to trust. By the power of the dark goddess in me, protection in place. Blessed be. Page 50 and 51. When trust is broken, when what you thought was true reveals itself to be otherwise, it feels like a whole world is upside down. That day is night, and hope is all lost. The very idea of continuing on in life can seem so fraught with emptiness and loneliness that question you to the point of your existence. Does somebody break your trust? Ooh. But you must trust in Hainu Tupu. Look back in your anger, but go with her through the darkness, and you will come out on the other side again. This goddess has sacrificed much in order to spare you the worst of it. Sometimes it is through the lack of understanding that we are left in the dark. So if you need to ask questions, do so for the truth, no matter how painful now. It's better than a lifetime of not knowing or living a lie. Hainu Tipu is a reminder of your inner strength. Others can benefit from what you have lived through. Alright, foresight. You are being given a second chance. Walk away from a bad situation. Learn to trust your gut feeling. Don't dwell on the past. Learn from your mistakes. But don't take the blame for the mistakes of others. Speak up before it's too late. Someone will surprise you. I heard speak now or forever hold your peace. I saw that, but I didn't want to. I saw that. Something about that. On what? Lumen Moon. She said something about God told them now. The time is now. I don't know. Do you feel it? You feel like you want to actually call a bitch? Alright, the skeptic. That's me. Polynesian. Turned her back on light and fled to the underworld, having discovered that the father of her children was also her own father. Unable to live with the shame she felt at this betrayal, she embraced death, becoming its goddess. She is salvation and chance for all to be reborn, literally through her body. There's some really fucked up stories about this kind of shit. And it's, this is to go and show you because, like, fuck, do we have to put a word on it? Incest is real, bro, and it's been around since the beginning of time. And when I first came into contact with it, I thought I was gonna die. I didn't even believe this could possibly be a real thing. But as soon as I came into contact with it once, I came into a contact with it again. And then later I realized that I was a victim of fucking, sexual abuse by my sibling. So this is a real ass deal. And we gotta talk about it, in the sense of, I saw that Kanye came back and said something like, I don't even have a cousin or some shit. I saw a real tweet that said that. It's like, oh, I'm gonna try to take this back now. I did my best to try to explain that as calmly and as comfortably as I could and tried to take the real pain off of the shame. And that's the best I can do by opening up this conversation. This is about, sexual shame. Truthfully. And we talked about that already. This is what this moon is about, the full moon in Scorpio. Scorpio is about sexual alchemy. I'll actually go ahead and pull that out of my second Bible that came later. We're going to get into this. So, again, we're not fully reliving yesterday's video, which is good. Alright, so I went to Pluto. Let me just say that. Endings and regeneration. That's what's happening right now. While it's a malefic planet, it can be difficult. There's much to gain when Pluto is integrated, as you can unlock your soul's hidden riches. Pluto is a generational planet in astrology, so each group has the same Pluto sign. While Pluto can create chaos, it can bring light where we have swept under the rug to be healed. Understanding Pluto in your own life is tremendous shadow work, and integrating yours can lead to personal empowerment and evolution. The following brief alchemical guide is an area of life where we will experience ego deaths, change, karmic events, and transformative triggers. How long is this happening? 5 months. We read it even in the Bible, bro. 5 months. It even said it, the tail of the Scorpio, for 5 months. It comes back October what? 13th. Alright, it goes by age group. So it's hitting us all, dickheads. Alright, let's see. How old are we got? I got some old peoples. All my old peoples, please stand up. Please stand up. Okay, sit down. Sit down. I know, you're old. I want to lay down too. Hey, I'm about to share this. I saw it was great. I am in my granny dress by 9 p.m. Or in my granny gown by 9 p.m. Religiously. That's how it goes. If you're one of those people, stand up. Okay, you can't. Sit down. So we'll say Pluto and Leo. If you were born between 1939 and 58, you're going through deaths, multiple deaths of the ego, creativity, and self-expression. All right. For those between 59 and 72, your whole focus is health and perfectionism. All right. That makes sense. You guys are so health fucking... Take your vitamins and shit. You're so pretty. Sorry, you really care. While I'm over here eating my Oreos and smoking cigarettes and shit. I don't care. Pluto and Libra. That's us, guys. 71 to 84. Relationships, equality, and love. This is hard shit. This is hard shit. We have to keep dying to this shit. For what? 5 months. Alright, for you younger folk, you 30s and you dirty 30s, the Pluto and Scorpio, you guys are having crisis, death, and regeneration. That's till 1995. Pluto and Sagittarius, 95 to 2008. You guys are having deaths in your beliefs and your worldviews and your spirituality. Yeah, religion isn't working for you. The way you view the world does not work. I think this is probably what, like Joe Barton shit? That's you guys? Yeah, for sure. Hey, are you leading that camp? I told you. Alright, Pluto and Capricorn, 2008 to 2024. This would be my kids. They're going to be experiencing structure, security, and hierarchy. Yeah, that's her. She's trying to build, her own structure, security, and take on her own, build her own hierarchy. Joan of Arc, they're here. And then I got my son, who's Benjamin motherfucking Franklin, which was Albert Einstein. Pluto and Aquarius for the newbies, 23 to 44. Their whole thing is collective ascension, innovation, and technology. They'll be in the new world that we created. Everything must come to an end. Wipe the slate clean and make space for the new. Get over it, dude. What are we focused on, people? Relationships, equality, and love. Who better to lead that war than Lilith? Haha! I really don't care who wins. In the battle of sexes, no, it should be equal. I'm the mediator to this shit. I really am. I'm not on either side. I hate you both. I think you're stupid. True story. I'm working on it. I see you through God's eyes, and that works. In my eyes, that could be that evil eye you're getting. Anyway, so yeah, those are great cards. And that's what I tell you. Get these cards so that you can just, hey, what's my bitch mode being? What kind of a bitch am I being today? What kind of bitch am I being today? That's kind of how that works. So, and then there's stages to it to learn how to heal that bitch. You gotta put a leash on that bitch. And there's great stories. They're really great. You realize that all of the great stories of history of all, are in these stories. Except for fucking, dude, I watched Ragnarok and they fucked that story up so bad. Fuck it up. Hollywood fucks up all these fucking stories. But at least we have they kept some kind of morsel of ancient culture and mythology alive for us. So we have like a vision. We have like something to work with. We have like a basic element. Now, what my second Bible is and how I work this shit, work it, is this. This didn't come till way later. And then I got more cards that help me dig into your dirt, and that's where I have my dark cards. There's plenty of light cards that teach you how to, be love and lighter and, affirmations and happy shit. But how do we deal with the real shit? That was what I was looking for, real shit. This is as real as it gets, bro. Now, in the beginning of this book, which I didn't read till, I never really read the intro. They just dive me into this. See, like right here, it says Lilith and black women. That's why I'm so black and so proud. Is that why you get to say the N-word? I mean, am I not supposed to say the N-word? I'm Chris Brown. I can say the N-word. My nicka. I mean, it's all in your perception. Are you white? Are you white trying to be black? You know what I mean? That's what it means. And then you got these black people totally trying to be white. We talked about that. You and your Met Gala. Okay. Galley up. So disgraceful. Anyways, moving on. Here's how it works. They called it, in all ancient studies, I can pull it out in the Black Arts book. It was called the Magnum Opus, or the 12 Gates of Alchemy. Right? Is what this is called. This is called, and there's different forms to it. I have another book that we haven't fully read, which is called The Science of Self-Realization. I don't know if you have to clean yourself out before you realize some shit, or if you're realizing it while you're cleaning it out. I haven't really read that book. That's another of the Krishna teachings. But in essence, this is how it works. And I already set it all up yesterday, so I can actually kind of make this, hopefully not as fucking... Alright, maybe not. Not as... Oh god, and there goes Scorpio. We talked about it, right? I didn't bring the Scorpio card up, and I told you what was going on with Scorpio. Right, so we have the full moon in Scorpio. Your moon is your water sign, your emotions. I read all this shit. Go back and catch that shit. Oh god, and I feel a 10-day forecast changing right now as I'm in the cards. Hold on a second. Let me double check that bitch. Still trying to get these cards together from yesterday. Okay, it's these cards. Okay, not these cards. Multiplication, correlation, salvation, Lilith. Nope. Fuck you, Eve. And you too, Adam. Every time. Every time. Every time. Every time. Every time. Alright, so how does the 12 gates start? This 12 gates start like this. Here's a little story. We start with number 33 with the Ascending Masters. The Dark Night of the Soul. I tried to explain it to you in the light when I pulled all that shit out like 2 days ago when I was in the light. This is what it looks like in the light. Now I showed you what it looked like when I went through it. Okay? The internal transformation through fire. Initiating the alchemical process. This spark of inspiration to change is typically triggered by a difficult event or a life discord. A trigger. Something outside of you. You get a higher perception and you're like, this just rocks your world. And you've got to fucking... It's the truth. Period. You just see some new truth that you didn't see before. And it rocks your fucking world. And now you're shocked and you've got to do something. You've got to act in this. Dude, it's just like totally shocked you to the core. Right? They call that the tower moment. What comes after that? Disillusion. Alright, so after you know what I mean? After the fire has started, now you have to put the fire out with what? In this stage, through the element of water, the subconscious mind is cleansed of limitations, trauma, outdated patterns, and belief systems. How does that happen with the water? You cry. You're really sad about some shit. It's really sad. It's so sad. It's so sad. This is the hardest part. Crying? Yeah, pretty much. It's about as hard as it gets. You just do a lot of that shit. That's why this isn't too difficult, I don't think. It just hurts to cry, I guess. Alright. Separation. It's time to remove and sever ties with what no longer fits your new activated light. Alright. I don't know what we went through this week. I'm just going to use an old one, for example. I had one in the middle of the week once, and it's still very raw, and I talk about it often. It was Lewis Hamilton. I love Lewis Hamilton. I loved my twin flame. I loved my twin flame. I loved my twin flame. I saw no wrong in my twin flame. I mean, I saw some flaws, but no wrong in my twin flame. So what happened? He shared this clip that he was going to do a cameo in Camila Cabello's fucking video. And all of a sudden, I just had this crushing new view of him. I was like, oh, you ain't shit, Nika. It just happened real fast, bro. But it didn't. You just get this new view. And then I tell you, what happens next is all the red flags. All the times that you should have seen that he was an ain't shit Nika. Wait a minute. This is fucked up. No, this can't be true. You're not a fuckboy like this. You would not sell out like this. They're like, you know he didn't charge him. I was like, oh, you're right. Oh, look at him. He's just trying to look cute in somebody's video. Oh, you're right. Oh, no. Oh, no. I was going to marry you? Oh, my God, Becky. It really broke my heart. In the sense of, yeah, it's just something so simplistic. It's like you totally love something like to death, and then all of a sudden you're like, you find out that McDonald's fucking burgers are made out of fucking slime, and you're like, oh my God, do you know how many times I ate those? I love those. I ate those. How am I never going to eat those again? Yeah. Oh, my video got all blurry when I said that. That's what happens. There's something simpler. It can be that simple, or it can be really bad. And you're like, dude, they rejected you. They don't care about you. They're talking about you. They cheated you. They're lying. They're this. They're that. Oh, no. Oh, no. No, they wouldn't do that. No, no. This sucks. That's that Archangel Michael with that sword of truth. The truth shall set you free. Meaning he's going to cut through the bullshit, and you're going to have to see this and be strong enough to walk away, because this is the truth, bro. You can't unsee this, bro. You can't unsee it. You can't put integrity back on them after it's been taken off. You can't put you can't put the rose-colored glasses on after you've seen some shit. Like, in the essence, alright, say you swore this guy had a big-ass dick, bro. You swore he was hung like fucking Donkey Kong. And then you caught a glimpse, bro. And you saw he wasn't nothing, and you're like, it completely fucked up your whole fantasy work, dude. You've been fantasizing about this man for fucking 60 years or something, maybe. And you just saw that you were living a lie. That was never real. He didn't even have the equipment, nothing, dude. You were just making up this package for him. He didn't even have the package that you put on him. I'm just kind of trying to give you an idea of how fucking stupid you could be out here looking. Like, what? You thought you were gonna marry Russ? Oh my god. It's in those videos. I think I did. God, what were you thinking? You thought... That's what Bobby said. Wait, you thought I was gonna leave my wife? Why did you think Why did you ask me? Oh god, explain yourself. Oh man, oh god, what was I thinking? And that's those moments. Woo! Yeah, that happened. That's called an ego death. Anyways, this is where you have to cut the cord, dude. You're like, alright. Marshall was a hard one. He was just as hard. You fall so hard for these people, bro, and then you fall. It's like I fell so in love with you, and then I fell right on my face after I was loving you. I'm like, oh, Marshall saw me do it everywhere. I just didn't know I was doing it with him too. He's like, I come to him every Saturday. What was I thinking, Marshall? I'm so embarrassed. I just want to die. And I realized that I was thinking the wrong thing about you too. Oh god, I just want to die. I look at Oscar. What were you thinking? I don't know. I just want to die. Oh god. I don't know. Very dangerous, that mind. This is your mind. This is your mind on drugs. Don't do drugs. It makes it worse. Alright, here we go. Cut the cords of societal programming, toxic people, and difficult memories that held back your light. Using the element of air, which is your mind over the matter. You have to use your mind through this. You have to, you know what I mean? This decreases your energetic load, meaning you need to stop worrying about this guy. Why did you let me think that, God? Well, it kept you going, but it's not going to get you any further, obviously. I guess. Fine. I had to, keep believing in men. And that's the thing I tell you. I believed in you. I tried for you. When I wouldn't try for myself, I tried for you. And then I tried to get the fuck away from you. What happens next? What happens next? The conjunction. The soul ascension. After the separation, after I've cut the ties, which is usually on a Friday then, it's time to reunite and harmonize with your mind and the physical and spiritual through the element of earth. Self-acceptance and empowerment are key during this stage. And that's it. Oh, God. You're okay. Acceptance, bro. You have to just... A lot of acceptance. Why did you think that? It's okay that you thought that. You can't keep hating yourself you didn't even know you were making a mistake until this moment. And you want to hate yourself for not knowing better. After they showed you that you should have known better because they showed you all the red flags that you missed along the track. Before you hit this wall. And there's a lot of, okay. And that was me this morning. It's like, I want to feel like I'm failing at, because me and my daughter keep having these, these fucking fights, and that what I'm doing isn't working. But, I mean, let's just accept that we're going to have some fights and that we don't get along about some shit. And she's got some fucking repressed feelings, and I do too. And, me walking away seems to work. And it's like I'm not running from the problem, and we can't really force this problem to go away. And we're just going to have to accept it, and let's go for a walk and mess around today. And that's it. It's like, you live to fight another day. It's not all or nothing. Like, this has to stop right now. Everything has to change right now. Some of them you have to just come to acceptance that you can't fix it right now, but you even going through it was an extra level of understanding. Every time you go through this, we will find better ways of handling it and more, you know what I mean? But in essence, it's like, there's nothing wrong with a teenager blowing up about her feelings. You know what I mean? Every teenager is going to say hurtful things. They're all going to, you know what I mean? What she did was a typical act. And she doesn't, you know what I mean? It's not like you can't act like that. Well, what you don't know is everybody's acting like that. And I shouldn't know any better of how to deal with you when nobody else knows how to deal with you. Nobody knows how to deal with a fucking crazy teenager, no more than a fucking crazy toddler. I don't know. What do you want? I mean, am I going to sit here crying? I what to do about my child. I've done that. I do that a lot. And then I'm like, well, I don't know. God, help me, Jesus. Go get the child. Go get your sheep. In the essence, what the fuck? It's a lot of self-acceptance, dude, because, like, you really want to beat yourself down and be like, I should have, I could have, I wish I would have. And you're like, well, fuck, I tried. And that's all you can do, is try your best. Self-acceptance and empowerment are key during this stage. Alright, what comes up next? This is what I tell you. I tell you, fuckers. It comes back up. What comes back up? It's not really gone. Your stomach still hurts. Meaning what? You're still wearing your skin, so more of it comes back up. The shadow release. This is the putrefaction. Death, decay, rotting away describes the putrefaction stage. What is this? This is where it replays in your head. It keeps replaying. And more of it's coming to the surface. And I have a whole video. I didn't upload the video. I haven't watched it, but it keeps replaying. And that's where the situation replays and more of it hurts. You come to acceptance, you're like, alright, it's cool, let's go get some lunch. But then while you're sitting at lunch, you're still replaying it in your head, and more of it's coming. You're still kind of angry, you're still upset, you're still sad, you're still embarrassed, you're still like, fuck. You know what I mean? You're trying to get over it, but it's still there. You know? And especially on a moon day, because you're in your mind and you're in your emotions, and it brings up what you just went through. It brings up more of it. You know what I mean? It's a breaking, it's like a lotus, dude. It's an opening of a flower. There's light in there, but it's a dark-ass shade before you get there. The nightshade flowers is what they call those. All right, let's go. While it may sound morbid, this is when the remaining internal darkness rises to the surface. Shadows of the soul are visible, causing difficult emotions. As stated by psychoanalyst Carl Jung in Psychology and Alchemy, this is where we purge the darkness of our mind. And that's it too, is they want you to go and relive these memories. So as you're reliving them, you're purging them. But are you speaking of them, or you're just getting caught in this purge? Where you're literally, you know, you're binging and purging your own fucking darkness. It's coming out and you're just eating it up. And that's where it is you got to breathe it out. You got to ground yourself. You got to do a lot of techniques. As I went through that book, you know, each of that book teaches you a lot of, again, magic. What you describe as magic. It teaches you during these stages you're going to need to do some bath. It says, you know, during the full moon stages, start doing this. They teach you how to work with herbs and of course, your stones. I was wearing this earlier. I did my full moon ceremony outside. I don't have my car and stuff, so I had to sit outside and do it, and that's what I did. But I had my satchel. Remember, I needed a new satchel. Isn't it awesome? It dates back. It's real hide. And that's where, you know what I mean, you learn to get your crystals and you learn how to work with them. You learn how to work with your moon waters. You learn how to work with the phases. You learn how to work with nature. You learn how to work with the animals. That's in that book too. And all of those books I had showed you throughout the week was get the Pure Magic book. That shows you a lot of it as well. Is how to work with, you know what I mean, the elements as you're working with the elements of yourself. And as you notice, that's what we went through. We went through fire. Then we went through earth, then we went through air, and then we went through water, then we went through air, and then we went through earth. Okay? The cogulation comes next. Alright? And the sound of it should tell you, you know what I mean, that's civation. Did I show you the cogulation instead of the civation? No, I showed you calcination. Where's the cogulation card? There it is. Oh, I did show you the wrong one. The conjunction. Alright, let me show you something different. Sorry, I fucked this up. This is actually that stage that I was trying to tell you about where the self-acceptance comes in, the conjunction. After separation is the time to reunite and harmonize your mind with your physical and your spiritual through the element of earth. Self-acceptance and empowerment are key. Now, this picture paints a perfect picture because what it is your divine feminine, right, which is your soul, and the divine masculine, which is your mind. This is where your mind and your spirit come together. Now, what I've been fighting all week was letting go of my divine masculine, trying to get my divine masculine to let her lead, right? And that's the fight, and that's what you've watched all week, is releasing my divine masculine to the divine feminine. And you know what I mean? In essence, what it really is letting my divine masculine have my divine feminine have another masculine. And I'm the masculine in my divine feminine's life. It's an intertwined relationship, meaning my mind protects my feelings. My mind knows what's best for my heart, right? So my heart wants to let another man in, but my mind doesn't want to let that man in. My mind says, no, I'll take care of you. I've always taken care of you. I know how to take care of you best. And my heart is begging it to let another man take care of me. But every time I try to get to a man, he or she or me, my masculinity, my mentality, my over-distorted masculine energy rises up and fights this man every time my heart tries to get close to it. So this is a battle between my divine feminine and my divine masculine, which is my heart and my mind. And I explain that all week as I'm trying to get in my empress. My empress is ready for an emperor, but my inner emperor won't let an actual emperor in. And I explained all of that, where this man came from. It's real. It's my mind. In my ego, in my mind, I am a man. I am more man than any man, and fuck a bitch. I know that I'm a badass bitch on the outside, and that you know what I mean? I know my full power, my prowess of, you know, how beautiful of a bitch I am, but I walk in with a mentality. Don't let the boobs fill you, or don't let the boobs distract you. I'll fucking fuck you up. I've always had a mentality. And it's so extreme that it actually, men that don't fuck with me. 100%. Like, they don't even approach me. Not on some can I talk to you level, or some business, or I would never fuck with that bitch. That bitch will, you just knew the way I carry myself when I walk in a room. And I did that. It's, you know what I mean? I did that to protect myself, but now I can't get it off of me. And that's this whole thing, is taking me off so I can be the best version of me. You know what I mean? But it's hard. And that's you guys too. You've created this version, this mentality of yourself, this image of yourself that you project to the world, but your heart wants a different life. And your mind knows best and tells it, nah, you don't get that, because it comes with failure and hurt and pain, and you're not worthy of that, and they're going to treat you bad, and you can't have such things. But your heart believes you can. And it's constantly trying to get your mind to do what it says. And your mind's like, nah, that's dangerous. It's a fight. And then there's R. Kelly. My mind's telling me no. Oh, God, but my body. Is that story. So I gave you the wrong visual. And this is during self-acceptance. This is where I'm trying to tell you is your brain wants to persecute you for not knowing better, for not doing better, for not, you know what I mean? But your heart has to be like, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. And it's like the father-mother inside of you, why the child is, you know, still hurt by what just happened. It's a whole trinity happening within inside of you. Now, after that is the soul ascension. After you've come to this place of blah, 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 blah. All right, so this comes together, right? You guys come together, right? As you guys come together in alignment, where my mind understands why this is so important to my heart. But it's only, you know what I mean, an understanding. It's still going to be hard reprogramming it not to flex. Not to flex up. And that's what I'm constantly trying to do, is get it to, and I say that, calm down. Put the balls away. Calm down. It's still hard, because that's who I've always been my whole life. Trying to be my higher self, my newer self is, you know, it's trying to put this on. So you go through that, right? And while going through that, after you come to this acceptance, there's still stages that are coming out from inside of you. Right? That's still a war. It's like, you know what I mean? You're coming to acceptance about it, and this is what it is. My heart wanted Lewis, but my mind knew that this was no good. My mind saw it before my heart would accept it. My mind saw it through the third eye and jumped on it right away and accepted it. But then there's the fight of the heart. Sometimes it's the mind. Sometimes your heart knows better, but your mind won't accept it. I can't. Example, Bobby. My heart knows. My heart knows that I need to just let him go. But my mind, you know what I mean, from what it is, all of this, it's just, that's it. I don't believe him. I just have to accept it. I don't believe Russ or Bobby when they try to tell me that they're in these happy relationships. I cannot make myself believe it, because it's not probably true. But my heart knows it. But when I put my mind to it, and I look at them, my mind knows they're lying. You cannot make my mind, my manhood, you can't make me believe this. No matter how much you tell me it. You can look me dead in my face and tell me you're happy and I don't believe it. And then my heart will be like, this is what happy is for them. They know no better. And that's it. I have to go on that or something like that. You know what I mean? My heart will make sense of it when my mind can't. It's a relationship. It's a huge relationship. And this is why I spend so much time outside of my manhood. Receptive. As the female. Because it knows better. My mind only knows of this world. So when I'm constantly out being a man, I'm not knowing. My inner knowing knows. Right? So you want to go back to a fun one? Is Allie gay? My mind totally thinks so. I am convinced that okay, not fully, because my mind's looking at me like, are you sure? Okay, maybe not. But then it tries to analyze it. It's like, visualize him in a sexual way. Visualize him trying to make a move on you. I can't see that. So then if I can't see you in your manhood, I'm seeing you, I mean, not bent over, but that's where the mind has its ways, dude. The neurons are shooting right now. It's coming up with some thoughts here. Then I gotta sit there with my heart. What do you think? I mean, is it okay if he's gay? Yeah. And that's where I just leave it alone. I'm like, I don't know. I can't. I don't know the truth. Because he could, in the sense of, I mean, a bitch might be. I'm not swayed anyway. I mean, if I've loved gay men before, yeah. Every girl loves gay men. Moving on. So anyways, where you're going through this and you're trying to talk yourself off of ledges, all of your fears and thoughts and shit are still coming up to the surface. You're like, but no, there was, but no, but, no, there's no buts. And then comes the soul ascension, when you finally come to it. They're connected to my phone? Okay, let me take them off. Okay, there you go. Alright, and then comes this part. What part is this? You now embody your true essence. This is where your new spirit works with the physical body and becomes one. You're stepping into your soul's gold. And that's where you can get it to like, alright, we're going to go with this new idea. Allie's gay. You're like, really? Yeah, I went with that one for a while. It worked for me. Like, I convinced myself I had enough evidence that this is my new reality. This is why he won't talk to me. He's gay. It worked for me. Is it the truth? I don't know. Ask him. Has he proved that thought wrong? Not yet. Actions speak louder than words, bro. And that's what I said. Until I see you with a woman, you're gay. So while I'm attacking him and Mike Studd's imaginary beard, you know what I mean? All of a sudden, here comes Kanye saying, I sucked a dick. I was like, what? I wasn't even talking to you, Nika. What are you talking about, Nika? And I was like, okay. At least somebody's catching something. Somebody's healing around here. I'm not the only one with a dick-sucking story. Fuck. All right. I'll take it. I mean, that's what it is. You come to this conclusion. Marshall ain't shit. Marshall's a junkie. Oh, okay. That's what we're living by now, huh? All right. Okay. All right. I live in my own realities, whatever makes it through the day. And it's got to be a good one. Am I lying, though? No. Prove me wrong. He hangs out with junkies. He stays in the vibe of it, bro. You can't say he's not. What makes a junkie? The junk that they're going through. Let me see your junk. What's in your pocket? I mean, seriously. Some baby oil. That is a good joke. I saw that. They showed me a pun. They showed me it on a keychain. A little keychain of baby oil. Is that a real thing? we're just imagining things. Anyways, your soul's ascension. This is where you come into your own reality and you're like, you're living off that bullshit. I feed myself all kinds of bullshit. After that is the spiritual magic. But the soul is lifting and ascending like vapor during this phase. There's a union between your body and your spirit's essence, meaning you're literally walking in your spirit, your new spirit of belief, right? You let go of this old version of yourself and what you believed. I'm just using those as examples, but in the sense of, I'm like, it was really hard to, you know, break up with my imaginary boyfriends and stuff, because I'm like, oh man, it's never going to work. And they're like, no, it's never going to work. I'm like, no, but it could have worked. I gave it all this time and effort. No, it can't work. And then after a while, you're like, yeah, I guess you're right. It was never going to work. Well, away we go. And that's this stage. It's like a real super stage of acceptance. I don't know why the camera's doing that. That was weird. I was doing it for the, you know, doing the extras. But that's pretty much it. All right, after this comes fermentation. If I can get the key. There we go. Fermentation. Like when grapes turn to wine, this is the maturity and aging process of your new way of being. Gold must age to become more powerful. And that's where your new belief system has become your new reality and you just live in it. And I use this example in the other video. It's like, that's Bobby. You know what I mean? After a couple days, I had to give myself a new belief. And before you know it, I haven't talked to him since last year. And now it's just, you know, it's my reality, and that's it. It wasn't just something I told myself. It's reality. It's been my reality for, you know what I mean? And that's it. You let this seed grow in your mind. You plant this seed of intention, meaning you plant this seed. And that's what I tell you, is I can take these dark memories, these dark experiences, see them at their dark form, and then I plant a new seed. So when I think back, I remember it the way I chose to think about it. I don't see it your way. I see it the way that I saw it, which was the light I put on this situation. So every time he goes back to that memory of the last time he saw me, he's met with darkness, because he has all of, I'm sure, all of this shame and blame and regret and guilt and, you know what I mean, embarrassment about what he did. I don't have those feelings. I look back and I'm inspired and empowered, and I'm strengthened, and I'm filled with giggles and joy. We both had the same experience, but we both look at it differently. Now, if you go back to the first time I met him, I was filled with all those same feelings. But, you know, I worked through the darkness of, you know, the shame and blame and guilt and all of that, of just pursuing my heart. I got rid of those. I took all of those off before I walked into the situation. So when I walked out with him, I didn't put him back on either. Meaning I knew what I was going to do, and I wasn't going to feel bad about what I was going to do, because I wanted to do it. I was, you know what I mean? I wasn't hiding anything. Him, on the other hand, had a lot to hide, because he knew what he was going to do. Did I know? I should have, though, and that's where the red flags come. It's like, he always does this. I had believed that he did that because it was a reaction to my actions. No. My actions were a reaction to his action. That's where I had put all this blame and shame and guilt on myself. Again, sometimes you just got to go back and relive it and see it for what it is. And, you know what I mean? One more time. And then as much as you're really embarrassed and totally ashamed, then, you know, someone like Marshall comes out and makes a video and makes it all okay again. Are you tired of Blowjob? I think I'm just getting started. And that's just it. You just, you know, as the time goes by, you create a new reality and you live in it. And that's it. As much as these guys wish that I lived in this, you know, and that's what I posted too, and it's happening. I told you, Oscar, it happens in moments. It doesn't. It takes a while for me to, you know, step out of it. It takes me even longer to step in it, but it takes me no time to step out of it. You know what I mean? I have to allow myself to fall in love, and then I fall completely in love. But it's not hard to fall out of love. I can find a million reasons to walk away from somebody. I know how to walk away. You know what I mean? It might be painful, but I have to do this because that's what I've been taught to do, is just walk away. It doesn't matter. And once I walk away, I know I have to stay away in order for me to recover. It's part of it, bro. If you've ever been an addict, if you've ever actually recovered from anything, you know that that's the hardest process. You have to sever ties with every person, place, and thing that's related to this, you know what I mean, addiction. You know, you say it's an obsession or something, but in the essence, it's like, no, it was a thought that I gave a lot of thought, enough that I, you know what I mean, I extended myself. And then afterwards, I realized that what the fuck was, you know what I mean, I just, as much as it's like, what were you thinking? I look back at God and it's like, and Kobe, it's like, you need to get out there and start believing that you could do it. And that's what stopped me from each of them. That I wasn't good enough, that there was all of these invisible barriers to my happiness. I should be able to look upon a man and say, you can make me happy, and go after that man without any barriers, other than when I approach him and he says, no thank you. And I should be able to take that just fine too. And that's what it is there's all these barriers before I approach the things I want. What's standing in between the things I want is me. And what I really want is a man. So as weird as it sounds, it's like, you know, I've denied this for so many years. We're going on 8 years now. And I've only started the recovery process for we're approaching 3 years. So, you know, in essence, I really, truly want this. But as I try to go towards it, I have all these barriers. So then I work through them to get to this person. And then I'm met with rejection, which is not terrible, because my biggest fear is, what if this does work? But that's what I'm ultimately working towards. Okay, this one didn't work, but look, you got better at it. And that's it. I treated you better than I treated anyone. No, I started treating you the same way. My patterns came up. They did. But I became aware of them with you in 2 days. I realized it, and I came back and apologized. I was sabotaging. I'm pushing you away. And what was that about the dark practices? I thought you were a dark practitioner, and I was going to get you. I said, I'll meet you in the astrals the first day I met you. I had every intention to destroy you magically the first day I met you. I thought you were an assignment of the dark, and I was just going to take you down. I didn't think you were an assignment of, you know what I mean? You were there this was a love assignment. And it didn't happen right away. Remember, it didn't happen until I got to Arizona, and then I saw you woke up in a hotel with your shirt off, and I was all attracted to you, and I was like, what is this? And as I went to explore it, where did it put me? Right back with the guys. Fought through all the guys. I come back to meet you, and I'm met with silence of the lambs. Well, I don't work well with silence. If you're not going to say anything, I have to walk away, because that's another thing I had to learn. Don't sit in silence. You know what I mean? No answer is an answer. No response is a response. I'd sit there forever waiting for Bobby to come back, waiting for these guys to say something. Say something. Say something. I'm giving up on you. Okay, I'm out. That's it. I have a timer to this. And it's not you. It's just what tried and tested methods. I can't sit around and do this to myself. You have no idea how long I sat around waiting for messages, waiting for signs of hope, waiting for someone to make a decision for me. I gotta make a decision. You got like a timer on this, bro. I know you're watching me. Don't play games with me. No, you don't gotta think about it. What, you got a girlfriend, you got a life, you don't want to take an adventure? You're all about that. This shouldn't have been a difficult decision. You made it seem like we could do this. You made me brave enough to do it, and then you didn't do it. Fine. Then I look back at it, and it's like, I did. I started apologizing to you. I started showing you more respect. I started catching myself when I was calling you them. You know, these are all great things. That means I'm getting better towards, you know, treating some guy better. Sorry, I didn't treat you good enough. But again, you know, that's the healing process. Because I didn't do that, I'd be treating every guy. I wouldn't be with a guy. I wouldn't be pursuing a man. But as much as it is, it's like, what do you do on your downtime? Avoid men until God says go find a man or go love a man. He warned me too. He said you were going to fall in love again. I was like, oh, fuck. But again, it's easy to, you know, the whole thing is just, you know, walking in that. I still love you, but I'm out of here. And that's what they realized. I still love them. They just didn't love me back, and that's okay. And it was all about me loving myself enough to love another person. The only thing standing between me and loving another person is me. Know that. But at the same time, the only thing protecting me from, you know, another person hurting me is me. So it's not all bad things. I go out there, I get a lot by doing this, but these are all things I didn't have experience doing. I had my first boyfriend at 15. I gave him like 8 years. Fucked up all my life. Went and, you know, was all in a daze for another, I don't know. Fuck. 5-6 years. Then I met someone and gave them another 10 years of my life. I didn't date, I didn't explore, I didn't do any of that shit. I was always somebody's wife. So then I come out here trying to be a wife and thinking I'm the best wife, and apparently no. Apparently, no. I got a lot of stuff inside of me that was going to come out if I tried to go out there trying to be a wife again the way I was. Trying to be that wife. And I would have. I would have lost myself. Every one of my fears was real. I would have gone into old submissional ways. I would have acted in the old ways and turned myself, completely unhappy. It's not good for me or you. It would have been a fake-ass relationship like the ones you guys got. Ha! Moving on. So what happens after that shit? After the fermentation is the fun shit. Joy, abundance, happiness, and wealth can manifest during this stage. What is this? This is an optimist. This is the optimist level, where you have accepted that this was best for you, and you believe this is best for you, and you're looking forward at the sunset that this is going to be a good day. I know yesterday was terrible, bro, and I wish that it didn't happen, but today I look as the sun sets, and I'm glad that we went through that. That darkness brought us closer. I understand more about how you feel, and you understand how I feel, and I learned more about how to be a better mother. And, although I was trying to be a wife, this is also part of it, and whoever's on the outside needs to know that we're not a perfect family either. And how to handle us when he's learning how to handle me, but he needs to know that I need time and space with my children, too. That he's going to have to stand back while we're handling our stuff and shit like that. So it's not terrible. And that's where you're like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. You are in alignment with your truth and magnetism and finally embody your higher self with ease. Manifestations are becoming instantaneous. Now, once you align with the light, then all the stuff of the light comes back to you. You were already aligned with it. You just stepped into the darkness for a minute. Or the darkness got in your way. You were already in alignment with what comes next. You just had to, go through the lesson to catch the blessing. The blessing was already there, dude. It's just on your journey. This darkness stood in front of you. This meltdown had to happen. And then everything, that was already coming to you comes to you that way you were already expecting. So, like, say, for example, I had planned on all these seeds and I was going to get this job and all of this shit. And just like what happened in Oklahoma, this is what happened. You know what I mean? I planted a seed. I put in an application for housing. I got a job. And then all of a sudden I lost my car. Okay, this is a dark night of the soul. If I accept that everything's going to be okay, it's okay. So then it is. And here comes the car, and here comes all the other seeds that I planted. It's just that's been removed for a time. And I got my car back, guys. I really did. God gave me the money out of nowhere and made all of this happen and shit. But in the essence, he makes it okay, and that's where it is like, how fast can you accept that that you needed to lose this car, and that everything's going to be okay? That's it. As soon as you can accept it, that this was for your best, that this relationship had to end, this thought process had to end, this your friendship, your job, this had to end. This is for the best. As soon as you align with that, then all the best comes with it. You know what I mean? Okay? That's what that means. All right? Now, after that comes the multiplication. Okay? To become an expert alchemist like me, you must repeat the process. This is when we revisit past stages or implement the magnum opus daily to strengthen this new self. Now, I went into this big time. I'm going to repeat myself almost to the word of what I said last time this came out. This is when I have to keep revisiting these moments with Bobby, Russ, Lewis. These moments were pinnacle moments, right? And as much as I wish they would be over, it's like, come on, I already accepted it. I accepted what happened. I have come to acceptance. We still have to revisit it because there's more hidden in this experience. Now, you would say that there's more pain hidden in this experience, but there's more understanding. The more I go back and relive that moment with Bobby that I don't want to relive, it's not a bad moment. It's just, I don't want to go back to that because it ends. I have to come back to the reality. It's like watching Troy. It's my favorite movie, but I don't want to watch it end. You know what I mean? It's my favorite memory as of right now, but it comes to an ending. It's like, please, I don't want to keep reliving this. Every time I live it, it brings more to the surface. Not so much about that memory, but that in that experience, I can find other memories that hurt that were similar to this experience. Through this experience, I can find more pain and suffering, right? So, the more that Russ tries to push his materialism on me and his overbearing control of finances and shit like that, the more I can face my insecurities and fears of such things. You know what I mean? The more he pushes that shit on me, the more my manhood comes up. And it's like, I wish I didn't have to look at them. I wish they would just go away. But in essence, every time I go back to revisit it, I become more empowered. Because I'm not just revisiting this moment. This moment is a gateway into my past, into memories and pain that I'm very unaware of. And he can do it. Russ can trigger him with his stupid words. He does it intentionally. He wants to hurt me with his words, and it works. But it works wonders because in the sense I'm just hurt. Everything he says bothers me, and you know what I mean? It's like, why do you be bothered? Because he's trying to bother me, and it really bothers me. Pretending like his words don't bother me is the lie. Is it really his words? No, I'm bothered by something similar to this from a long time ago, and he's bringing it to the surface every time he drops one of these stupid songs. And he's good at it. And that's what they do. But at the same time, it's like, I don't want to. Like, I'm not listening to that song. If I can make it through this whole life not listening to Eminem's last song, that one to Haley, I'm cool. I don't want to go into pain with you. Not that one. Unless God makes me, dude. Unless it's on my screen, and sometimes that's it. I can feel the urge. Be brave. Face what's behind this curtain. Ugh. I don't want to face that. That's it. I don't want to see this. Look. Because I know it's going to bother me. It's like, you like to be bothered? No, I know how important it is. I know that I'm already bothered. I know that this is going to trigger me. And that's a good thing. You guys see triggers as a bad thing. I mean, I don't always want to be triggered. Fucking trigger happy all the time, but it's important. When you get this far and you do you do this. You know what I mean? Like I always say to you, you don't get like me without Kobe waking you up like I did at 4 a.m. You know what I mean? Fucking living bad memories and thoughts. What do you think I do at 4 a.m. in the morning, bro? I go outside, or I don't, depending what it is. But as soon as I turn on, as soon as I open my eyes, there's usually a thought lingering in my head. There's some thought in there. I just wake up with one in there. Just one thought. I don't know where this came from. And it's usually, sometimes it could be left over from the night before. But I will go out in the dark. It's half dark, it's half light. You know what I mean? In the in-between with this thought. And my spirit guides. And we'll talk about this thought. And then I'll go through it. And here comes another one. We'll do this until morning time. Till I have to pee. Until the cars start running. And then I'll get on live and tell you about all these things I was thinking about. And all these things that came to me. I have unbelievable conversations. You know what I mean? In the quiet. What do you think I'm doing at night? What do you think I'm doing in my car? It might be my thought, but it could just be the universe showing me things. You know what I mean? It's not, it looks like the lights are out, but I'm seeing everything outside of, my existence. And that's what it is. It's like I do these all the time and I have many videos. I'm waking up and I'm just, my mind is going crazy. It's freaking out because it's worried that we don't have enough food. It's worried that my phone bill's going to cut off. It's worried about all these things. And I wake up in this and I have to work through it just like this. Applying this method 4, 5, 6 times a day sometimes. They started to slow down as I went through my darknesses. There wasn't, there's plenty. Now they come up, you know what I mean? I can't force them, but in the beginning, no, people were sending me dark attacks. They were sending magic at me. So they were pushing my shadows to the surface. But again, I knew how to do this before this book ever existed. I learned how to do this through my spirit guides, how to alchemize, darkness. I had made videos about it. I was like, guys, I'm just taking in all this stuff, and I'm like a radioactive plant. I didn't know the terminology of alchemy, and this was exactly the definition, but I could explain it. I just didn't have the right words. I sounded like Kanye. I didn't know how to explain what was happening inside, the visions I was seeing, the fucking, hearing. That irritated the shit out of me when Bobby said that. I don't know what voices you're hearing. I talk to dead people, bro. I've told you this forever. Since the fucking beginning. What are you talking about? I told you when I heard my voices. I told you when it was my personalities. Quit playing around. In the essence. So you learn how to do this, you know, to be a master alchemist like myself. You got to repeat this process and revisit past stages and implement the magnum opus daily to strengthen yourself. I am the master at this, and that's why I teach you this. And it's not just every Friday. Like I said, I would have to do these every day, all day, every day, all day in the beginning for fucking months because I had so much darkness to deal with. I couldn't get any peace. As soon as I could wipe my snotty face, lift my head, and light a cigarette, I'd breathe in, and here comes another memory. Do you hear the memories that come out, bro? They're not pretty. Not pretty. And I'd just like... and just start breathing again and go right back down to crying. And I can't believe this happened to me. How could this happen to me? Yeah, bro. I'm the girl that lived. Somehow I could keep getting up. And that's what it is. How can she get up? I have to. As long as I have breath in my lungs, bro, I'm getting up. And that's it. I was like, hold on, I gotta breathe. I might die. And that's how I die. How do I die? I take a deep breath in, laughing. I'm about to laugh at someone's joke. I take a deep breath and I just fall over. Until I have no more breath in my lungs. It was a good joke. I can't wait for that joke to come. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be killer. I can't wait for who tells me that killer joke. You guys be killing me every day with your jokes. You were a total joke. Alright, what's the last phase? I think I fucked up the cards again. Did I show you that one? I fucked up the cards. I don't think if I did it right. No, it wasn't even in here. Okay, good. I thought I fucked up the cards. It's this one, the last one. Projection. It's your soul's gold, where your real true essence is shining out to people. And that's what you see. You see my true essence, but you see my shadows when they come up. And this is what set it off last night. I was on this card. It was like, you see the good person in me, but you just see that I'd be acting dark. And that's where my daughter's like, bitch, you ain't a good person. She brought up all the darkness. It was literally what happened. This is the last and final phase when you've achieved the Philosopher's Stone, the desired result of alchemy. You can project your true essence into the world with ease, and this high frequency is mirrored back with its support and abundance from the universe. And that's it. When my fears aren't standing in my way, my insecurities, when I'm fully faithful that my man can hear me and he's coming to me, then he comes. Come to me. But when I'm sending out mixed signals, which are not even, on the internet, they're very obvious, then he doesn't know. But am I sending mixed signals, or are you catching my moon cycles? It's not a mixed signal. You have to understand this is the journey. Some days, I don't think I'll do this when you're here. The fears won't be here when you're here. The fears are how you'll be when you're here. But when you're here, my mind will know that those fears aren't real. But until I can see you and I can put a face on it, my brain just keeps putting the past on it. He's going to treat you like this, and he's going to act like Russ, and he's going to be like... I can only see the past. It's not because I want to, it's because it's the only memories I have, it's the only vision I have to go off of. So I try to create this reality of what it could look like, but it's not going to look like that. I can't put us in a house. I can't make this memory, this illusion of what we will look like, because I'm not in control. If I was in control of this relationship, then I could be like, well, we're going to live here, and I want this kind of car, and I want this. I'm not controlling, I'm not manifesting all the little details of what I want our marriage to look like. I'm managing what I want it to feel like. I'm manifesting that, what I want this relationship to feel like. And that's where the masculine takes action, I'm receptive, and I take these visions, and he creates this vision. Based on, my feelings. So that's where it is. It's like the home is created on what he knows is us. right? So something like last night, it's like, all right, I get it. I get more, the more understanding he has about us, the more he can manifest what us into his life, which was really, he's going to be our provider and our protector. So it's his vision that we walk into. And that's what's fucking this up, is me trying to be over masculine and trying to put a man into my life and walk him into my vision. That's not how this works. There's the submission. But what we're looking back at, the inequality of the relationship was the woman's voice to the man's action. You know what I mean? We got to live under your house and under your rules and your, you know, and that was Adam and Eve. She was just a doormat to whatever he said. And that's how I lived my, you know, as a woman, but that wasn't the right way. And that's because that's what you're programmed to do as a wife. You're supposed to be all these things, and we're breaking that and understanding that. And he's learning that from the outside. And trust and believe, whoever he is, he's very present. It's not like some stranger coming in to marry me. That's not going to be the deal. Not really. Not stranger things, but not stranger. In that sense, and that's where this is the more I learn I learn me, they learn me. How I learn how to care for me, they learn how to care for me. And that's what will be you too, is when you start making changes in your life and you tell people, well, I learned that this doesn't work for me. So then later they'll be like, when they go to call and invite you, they'll be like, well, she doesn't really like stuff like that. So let's not, you know, she doesn't really like to drink. So let's make sure that we have some non-alcoholic drinks too. And that's it. They get the new you, so they're gonna accommodate to the new you. Before, your favorite thing, oh, she always brings the tequila. Not no more. She doesn't drink. She's cool, but she just doesn't drink. So let's make some non-alcoholic margaritas for her. Bring Lewis and his non-alcoholic tequila on a moon day. Margarita moon day, right? That's what we'll be doing, drinking non-alcoholic margaritas. Not with the kids. That's weird. That's weird. In the sense of, but you know, that's just kind of it, is you learn, you change a bit, and then, you know, the ones that are accepting. The other ones will be like, oh, she want to act like she don't drink no more. That bitch used to take down a whole bottle of tequila every fucking Sunday, and now she want to be all prissy. She's just trying to make changes, dude. There's nothing wrong with it. She's not judging you. Why are you feeling so judged? Do you feel bad about your takedown? Take it down. In the essence, and that's where it is people don't like your changes. They call you hypocritical because you're trying to do something different, and your different offends them and makes them feel guilty that they're not trying to be different. I didn't say you had to stop drinking. I came to the drinking event. It's just I believe that I'm a little out of control and I can do better. I don't believe you can do better. I didn't tell you if you want to do better. It's not what I want to say, but I'm thinking it. But we were all thinking it while she's over there with an attitude because I don't want to drink. Oh, come on. And that'll be the first one that tells you, oh, you want to do a shot? Come on, just one shot. And that's that one. They want your failure because your failure equals their success. They don't have to feel outshined by you just trying to be better. That's it, dude. People are just intimidated by the fact that, you know, because it's admirable. If we're all sitting together, we all party every weekend, right? And then all of a sudden I'm like, I'm going to try not to drink with you guys this weekend. And I actually do it. You're going to be proud of me. How did you do that? I don't know, dude. It was pretty cool. Let's try it again. And in the essence, I become the celebrity because I'm different. But I'm still part of it. And now that hating bitch that it depended on me to buy drinks every weekend is mad because now I'm getting celebrated for my, you know what I mean, sacrifice. Funny how that works, right? You just choose to do a little bit better in your life, and now everybody hates you. I just, you know, I don't want to be part of that. I just don't. And then, you know, when you really got to stand up for yourself, then you really do, and be like, you know what, Cocoa, you fucking Cocoa, every time you get to that half bottle, you're over there on the fucking pie, or you're over there on the straw. Stop talking. You could do better too. Why are you talking about me and my drinking? Look at you. Where's your drinking lead you? To a fucking straw and a dude. You know what I mean? In the sense of you could get ugly with them, and there's no need to do that because now you're just using their shadows against them. And they're both of your shadows. Both of you as drinkers. And when you drink, you act a little different, and she acts different, and we all shouldn't be drinking like this. And we shouldn't be making mimosa day. We shouldn't start drinking at 11 and be laid out by 5 o'clock in the afternoon, just fucked up. Talking about, let's get ready for the club. This is not good. We're not doing good. We're not doing good in our lives right now. I know we're not. I think we could do better than this. You guys want to go to church or something? Maybe we should go for a hiking, or how about a spiritual retreat? How about a spa day? You know what I mean? Just trying to be better, implementing new things. You know, you're like, well, I know some people that do that, and they look like they're happy. I'm gonna try it out. Oh, you bougie now? You're better? You're one of those people? It's kind of fun. I didn't know it was so fun. You want to try it out? And that's it. You know what I mean? You start switching up, and they feel left out just because you're just exploring, and they're too scared, and they become haters just because you're changing. You guys were fine when I was just by myself doing nothing, but now that I'm doing something, now you hate me? You can hate me now, but I won't. This was a great video. And we do this every Friday, and I get upset because nobody wants to do it, because it's very destructive and painful. It's very humiliating. A lot comes out of it, but what comes out of it is your true gold. You know what I mean? I'm pretty close. I'm so close to getting a man, and I was nowhere near that when I started. And it's not the whole goal, but again, it was my heart's desire, and I put a lot into it and got robbed throughout the years with these shitty ass men. And I've been doing a lot of work, so I'll get my man for sure, but I'm not chasing him, because in the essence, like, I'm scared of the idea still, being fully transparent, and that's because of my experiences. But it doesn't mean that I'm not ready. And that's what I did, is I showed myself and him and actions that I am ready. I literally reached out to him. They know that they know how far I will go, and I've gone further than I've ever gone before. And that's where it's like, where am I supposed to go from here? Let's break in those ceilings. I didn't even think I had it in me. And you're proud of yourself. Even if you're met with rejection, dude, you're proud of yourself. After, going back to Lewis, after I looked at myself as good enough for Lewis, you don't stop looking at yourself that way. After you realize you were always good enough for whoever that person was that you thought you weren't good enough, you don't put that back on. After you realize that you were always good enough, you were always good enough. You know what I mean? Going back to it, it's like, know this. If I can face Lewis Hamilton, beautiful, or Marshall Mathers and shit, and I can see myself as I'm good enough for you, if I'm good enough for them, I believe I'm good enough for anyone. The only reason that I'm not approaching you is because of my own fears. It's not that I believe you're better than me. I believe I need to be better to approach you, and that's something I'm working on. Do you know what I mean? So it's never like, I couldn't approach you because of that. I couldn't approach you because I got some childhood traumas and shit that I need to deal with. But it wasn't like that. And I dealt with those way in stages. Those were early stages of insecurity. Once you heal your insecurities of things, you don't, once you heal areas of your life, you're not that person anymore. Now, I can go back and relive those moments. You know what I mean? So, like, every time I take my clothes off, I can relive this slight moment of insecurity, but then I can remember I am beautiful. And that was just an old way of thinking, that I wasn't beautiful enough. And if I want, I could sit there and look at my body and look for things that people wouldn't like. Oh, he's not going to like my thighs. He's not going to like this. No, he's going to love you. And none of this matters, is what I tell myself. Because it shouldn't. It shouldn't matter when he looks into my eyes. And that's where he should be looking at. The rest of this shouldn't matter to him. And that's what really, and I live by stuff like that. So when it comes to approaching a man, it's not that I'm not good enough. It's that I've got fears. I got fears about who you are and what this could be. That's it. That's all. God bless. Amen. But in the beginning, no. It was all about me. I wasn't good enough. You'll get to a place where you realize you're good enough. You deserve love. And you just got to work through your fears. And you know what I mean? And in everything that God said that he promised you, and your visions that he showed you happy with, and he promised this to your life, is going to come true. You don't have to bend over backwards. You just got to work on it and give God time to bring it to your life. Make sure that you're attracting it, that you align with such a thing. You know what I mean? If you want a career and movie, then you better be in your room every day making little clips and working on your acting and doing all of this. Even though you're not, you know what I mean, making film, you better be practicing. And that's Kobe, always practicing, always waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning, you know what I mean? Taking your pictures. Okay, today I'm going to dress up as this one, and I'm going to, you know, working on your accents and all of that stuff. When that next part comes, you're ready for it. Not that you're chasing every opportunity to be an actress, but you're becoming the best actress. So when that right opportunity comes and you see it, you seize it. And that's where I got him. And he's got to do something about it now. I took his flame. This is exactly Oscar's words. When you have that opportunity, you go for it. It was his words. He says he's this man, and he had the opportunity, and he didn't do it. It was all words. He and I both know he's never going to find anything better than me, and he wasn't searching for it. He didn't even know that he could find anything like me. And he had the opportunity, but what stood in his way? Fear. So now he's pushed to a whole nother level. Are you going to take a lower vibrational woman, or are you going to deal with your insecurities and your you know what I mean, your healing to have a high vibrational woman? Now that you know what it takes to have one. Are you ever going to find a woman better than me? No. But if you don't become better, then you'll settle for a woman less than me. And that's what I'm going to put on this cover. I saw it too. It was a great cover. With that being said, yeah, it's the process of becoming better. And it's all inside of you, where you sit with you and you evaluate you and you love you and you deal with you. And that's what you got to see. Tune in next week for the next one. Again, we got a full moon. Tomorrow is Sunday, so I'll have plenty of Sunday Fun Day light codes for you guys. That's when I pull out the light. We'll talk about religion and stuff. All the ascending masters send their love and light to you. It's still early, so I plan on taking a breather, and we're going to finish up the Pentacles. So come back for Intro to Tarot Part 6. We're doing, I don't remember. I think it's like the 10 of Pentacles, and then we'll finish at 10. Page, Knight, Queen, King. Right? We'll finish those harder levels of reality, and we'll move on. Hey, love yous, laters, bye.